lot. But this game more so talks about the defense. Welcome to the Joe Jordan Show. I am Joe Jordan, your host, and today we're going to talk about the Washington Commanders bouncing back from that Falcons game and beating the Los Angeles Chargers in LA. Now, this was a big game, obviously, number one for Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels, first game back after missing 2 games. Marcus Mariota taking over his spot. The Commanders going 1-1 in those 2 games. Jayden Daniels, like I said, first game back. He's from California, and they said he had 2 suites full of people that friends and families and stuff like that to watch him play. He even said that he's playing this game for free because of the amount of tickets he had to buy to put his family in those suites. So he had a good game. He showed out. But this game more so talks about the defense who had so much attention these last 7 days or so because of the performance they had against the Falcons. The defense been known for being up and down, inconsistent, being good at home against these mediocre teams, and being bad on the road so far. They were bad on the road against Jordan Love and the Packers. They were bad on the road against Michael Penix and the Falcons, but they were good against Geno and the Raiders. They were good against Russell Wilson and the Giants. So this was a game that was going to test the defense. Now, don't get me wrong. The Los Angeles Chargers are hurt on the offensive line. And so far, the Commanders have been really good against weaker offensive lines. The test will come when they go against a strong offensive line. But you go out there, you play the games. At the end of the day, with the injuries, the Chargers are still a good team. They are 3-1. They are 3-0 in their division. They still have Justin Herbert, who was an early MVP candidate. They still have those receivers. And they still have that great defense, a top 4 defense coming into that game yesterday on Sunday. So this game told a lot. Like as you can early in the game, the Chargers were moving the ball. You look at the first drive, they were moving the ball, but then the Commanders get a stop on third down, thanks to Jeremy Reeves. Got a big stop in the end zone, pass deflection on third down, and then Mikey gets an offsides call on him. And it allowed them to get back on the field, the offense, first and goal, and they score second play on second down to, I believe it was Keenan Allen. So now the score is 7-0. The offense get the ball and they get off the field fast. All right, they get 3-and-out, 3-and-out. And then Chargers come back on the field and they settle for a field goal this time. But then our offense gets back on the field and we still get no points. Then you get the Chargers back on the field. They're up 10-0. And it looks and they're moving the ball. They're moving the ball once again. Remind you, up until this point I'm about to talk about, the Commanders had 6 missed tackles that I counted from my own eyes. 6 missed tackles up until this point right here, which I believe was the turning point of the game. Right, the receiver catches the ball and Martin comes out of nowhere. He's already wrapped up, and then Martin comes out of nowhere and hits him, and the ball comes out. Marshall Lattimore recovers it. That was the game-changing play. Because after that, Jayden Lane gets a 3rd and 16 conversion. Bill was going to work on the ground, getting to the edge. He ended up scoring that drive, by the way. So the score is 10-7. So the score is 10-7. And another turning point of the game was this. So the defense gets a stop, and then the Commanders get the ball because they get pinned down in their own territory. And they basically go 3-and-out. 3-and-out, quick, boom, right? So now they're punting the ball, and the Chargers runs into the kicker. McConkey catches it and runs it back for a touchdown, but it gets taken back because of running into the kicker. First down, automatic first down. And what happened on the very next play? Jayden Daniels throws a 50-yard bomb to Luke McCaffrey. And then another pass of Deebo Samuels. And then we get a field goal. And the score is 10-10. When the score could have been 17-0. So there was 2 turning points in the game, in my opinion. The fumble forced by Martin and the roughing the kicker call on the Chargers. So that happened. So then after that, the defense has shut the Chargers down. The Chargers couldn't do anything. They were getting pressure. The Commanders ended up with 5 sacks. Which one? Jacob Martin had a sack and a half. Jacob Martin had a half a sack. Von Miller had a sack and a half. Armstrong had 2 sacks, and Newton had a sack also. Also, Newton had a tip pass that turned into an interception on the goal line. The Chargers were moving the ball. The score was 20-10 at the time. Chargers were moving the ball, and then they got into first and goal. They got stopped, second and goal, and then they throw it with Mikey. They throw it, and Mikey read the play, and he intercepts the ball. The defense also got a fourth down stop also by the Chargers going for it. So the defense played terrific yesterday. You look at what the defense did. Justin Herbert was 22 from 29 from the field, right? 22 for 29, but he only had 166 yards. That's 5.7 yards per attempt. He got sacked 4 times. Trey Lance got sacked 2. That's why it's 5. But he got sacked 4 times. So the defense shut them down. And look at the running game. The defense have been really good against the run all year. But Marion Hampton, who's in the IR right now, 12 carries, 44 yards, 3.7 yards per carry. I mean, he was going nowhere. So the defense responded. They got 2 turnovers today. Sorry, they got 2 turnovers yesterday. They responded from that pathetic performance against the Falcons. They held the Chargers scoreless after they scored in the first 2 drives. They could have had them. They gave them 7 points with the offside, but penalties happen, like they running to the kicker. But after the first 2 drives, when it was 10-0, the Chargers did not score at all after that. So the Commanders' defense was the reason the spark happened with the turnover, and they won this game. Now the team won this game, obviously, but they deserve the game ball. But the player of the game, though, was Bill. Bill was terrific. I mean, I think Bill is one of the best. I mean, the man. I don't want to jump the gun, but from my eyes, what I'm seeing, that dude was fantastic. He had 14 carries, 111 yards, 7.9 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. He's leading all. He's First of all, he's top 4 in rushing yards when it comes to rookies, and he's leading all rookies, all rookies running backs in touchdowns. He got 4 touchdowns. Second place guy has 2. Ashton Jeanty ran the ball almost double the time he's running the ball, and Ashton Jeanty has less than 100 yards than him. So the man averaged 7.9 yards per carry this game. Every time he got the ball, I feel like he's going to get positive yards. He did get a fumble. He did fumble. That was a great play by the Chargers defensive tackle. He did get a fumble, and I'm glad that happened because I want to see how he bounced back from adversity. He came out the next drive and ran the ball so hard. Like, he was running the ball. I thought he was going to score on one of those plays and break off for a long run. The man runs hard. He has great vision, and he's young. He's hungry. The guy was ineligible to play in college, and he sat out for a whole year, like, not physically because he was still there on the practice squad, still showing up, still doing the workout, still doing everything as if he was on the actual team, but he really wasn't because he wasn't eligible, but he still came and showed up, which shows you the love he has for the game. And he's hungry, and you can see that in this game. So, great win by the Commanders. They bounced back against a good team, Chargers, who's banged up on the offensive line. They have the Bears next week on Monday night at home, and then after that you got Dallas, and after that you got the Chiefs Monday night. I believe it's Monday night or Sunday night at home. Sorry, in Kansas City. So these next 3 games gonna be crucial. Right now they're 3-2, and let's see if they can make it 4-2. So that's all I have for y'all today, and I'll see y'all at the next episode. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.